Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach, on this awesome January 2nd. Hope you're up, doing well, got the mind in the right place. But as always, if not, let's put it in the right place. So I want to talk about today. I've been listening to all the stuff I normally listen to, but I want to share something what kind of went down yesterday. Morning, Mr. Frank the Tank. Good morning. Setting the tone for the year, setting the tone for the day, setting the tone for 2021. So if you don't do jiu-jitsu, let me just kind of explain for a minute. So we have a thing called open mat, right? Training. And normally on open mat days, which is normally like a Sunday or a holiday, like yesterday was the first. So, some places were closed and off, and some places like mine are open. So I wanted to be open for a reason, especially after the year that we had last year. I wanted to come in 2021 on fire, hot, like coming in hot, like having training and not just rest up and then just lay around for the day and then come in on the second, like today, and then start. I wanted to start yesterday, so that's what we did. And so the normal mindset for an open mat training session is you kind of come in, it's not a normal class, meaning you don't come in and you don't line up and we don't bow in together and we don't jog around the mat or whatever the warm-up is together. You kind of just come in on your own, have hard stretches and lay around for a little bit, talk, and take about 20, 30 minutes, 15 minutes to start your actual rounds, okay? Because there's no techniques. You just get right at, you warm up and then you get right to it. You get to rolling or drilling or whatever it is that you want to work on. That's what the open mat training sessions are supposed to be about. I had made a post to my team, hey, we're gonna train 1:30, blah blah blah. And then some had asked, is it normal open mat training session or are we doing a warm-up? And so right away, it just clicked. Like, most people probably just want to come in and just do some regular rounds, right? Like a regular class. Like, I probably stayed up late because it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And, probably just got up a little bit later than normal. A little just not normal stuff, right? So I was like, well, I need to change that. I need to change the mentality because just that comment alone, and I'm not like mad at the comment or anything. It's just you use stuff like that to kind of put things where they need to be. So I just kind of saw where maybe where that might lead to, which is just kind of like lazy rounds, regular rounds. And I'm like, we don't want to start the year off regular, normal, average, mediocre. We need to come in and start a class 2021 on fire. So that's exactly what we did. So we got everyone lined up together at the same time, bowed in, and then we had like our normal warm-up for class, which takes about 15 minutes or so just for the warm-up. And the warm-up alone that we have is, for most people, it's really tough to do until you get acclimated and used to the warm-up. All right. And so I had a student coming in late, actually two students. And because they came in late, I added sprints to the beginning of class. Now, normally we don't do sprints until after class, okay? That's like a Saturday competition class. I'm gonna get everyone tired. You did 4 or 5 rounds, and now we're gonna do some sprints and some kind of burpee type exercises at the end of class. Just do a little extra to because it's a competition class. But because it was 2021, January 1st, and someone showed up late, I wanted to set the tone to be like, you know what? I already started the regular warm up. Let's go ahead and get after it a little bit more. So we did sprints before the round. So we warmed up, jogged around the mat, got loosened up a little bit. But then the sprint started. So in my mind, I was like, all right, we're going to do 10. Okay, so we jog around the mat, go from one corner to the next, hard sprints, get the heart rate up, sweating, just burning a little bit more energy before we start the rounds. I started to feel really good. I was like, man, I'm warmed up. Let's just keep going. I forgot how many sprints we did. I don't know. It had to be at least close to 20. All right, so everyone's sweating. Everyone's awake. Everyone is in tuned to what we're getting ready to do, which is train, okay? So there's a difference. there's a difference. There was setting the tone for, hey, I want this year to be different. I want our mindsets to be different. I want the way we think and everything that we do to just be different. If I just allowed us to just come in and just do a normal open mat training session, that just would have been lame, and that's just setting the tone for a bad year. The way we had last year, how we're going to come into this year, yesterday's class was really different. Then after class, so we did about 5 rounds, 5 7-minute rounds. You get about a minute and 45-second break in between. Then we did the sprawl drill. So we're jogging around the mat, or we're side shuffling it around the mat, and then we do these sprawl drills. So every time I say sprawl, you hit a sprawl, drop down, it's like a burpee, and then you come back up and keep shuffling on the mat. And we kept doing that till we got up to 10. Point being, it was a great class. Good morning, Mr. Sergio. How's it going? And the work ethic, the output that we got done yesterday was awesome. Okay, the rounds were awesome. The class was awesome. The energy, the flow of everything was just awesome, because we had to push. All right, I had to push. I had to set the tone for the year. I want my students to understand that this year has to be different than last year. And the way we do that is we just got to do things a little bit differently, like adding the sprints to the beginning of the class. So normally I have a big pet peeve with students showing up late. All right, I understand people come from work, school, whatever. Some people just show up late just to show up late. But because that 1 or 2 students showed up late yesterday, I was actually thankful for that. Because they showed up late, it just forced me to add more stuff to the beginning of class. And I wasn't going to do that. I didn't have plans on doing that. But I was like, hey, we got to pay the price for someone showing up late. Now, I'm not a coach that just sits on the sidelines and just tells people what to do. I do the thing with my students. I'm in the trenches with my students. I'm jogging, I'm sprinting, I'm doing everything that I ask my students to do. I'm in there with them doing it because they need to see that. Okay, again, I talked about it in other episodes where I had a wrestling coach back in the day where the assistant coach did all the work, sweating with all of us, and the main coach just sat on the sideline with a cheeseburger, fries, and a super big gulp. Not cool. So anyways, how are you going to set the tone for your year, all right, and your day, all right? So if you didn't really do much yesterday, all right, cool. You got a rest day in. Now you're rested up. Let's get after it. What's the tone going to be like for the rest of the year for you? How are you going to get things fired up and get started on all cylinders? And the way you do that is you map it out and you get things. You got to add a little extra like we did yesterday. You got to add a little extra more. You got to do a little bit things differently than you did last year. And it starts today. Or actually, it should have started yesterday. But if you didn't start yesterday, hey, it's cool. Some people just needed an extra day to get the rest in. But now you're rested up. It's January 2nd. How are you going to set the tone for 2021? What are you going to do differently this year than you did last year? And it starts today. And you create these habits, these things, to where they just become daily routines for you to just become, a better individual than you were last year. So, but it's work though. David Goggins talks about this in his video. He's talking about like hard work, discipline, grind. Like those are bad words for people. Those things like push people away. They kind of offend certain people. And for guys like me, okay, and students that I have, a good majority of them, not all of them, but a good majority, I'm trying to get all of them to have that, is to embrace that, to go after that, go towards that. Don't run from that. Like that's what I want. I want the sprints. In the beginning, your mind is like, man, what are we doing? And why are we doing this? And why is he making us doing that? But once you get started, you're like, yeah, this is good. I like this. I like this feeling of work, okay, of work. Like you don't have a great feeling, at least for me, of just laying around the couch all day playing video games. That's not productive. I'm not doing anything but moving my thumbs or just using my eyes to watch a TV and my body's just sitting there. I like doing the things that we did yesterday. I've always been that way. I got started with that because of wrestling, because wrestling practice was hard. So yesterday's practice, jiu-jitsu practice, was a lot like a wrestling practice in a couple of different ways. So how are you going to make those adjustments, okay, to make this year different than last year? And you just got to do things. You just got to do it. There's enough thinking about it. You got to get after it. You can't wait till next week or tomorrow, like today. It's the weekend. it's the weekend. It's another day, but to make things happen and get things done. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys because I think a lot of students yesterday just thought we were going to open up from 1:30 to 2:30 and, you know, just do a regular open mat training session, just a regular day. But yesterday wasn't a regular day. It was the beginning of a new year, a beginning of 2021, especially after what we had as a year last year. We set the tone. I made sure we set the tone to be different yesterday to make sure, and I told these guys, my guys and girls on the mat, that this year has to be different. The mindset has to be different. We can't do mediocre, average, like everyone else kind of stuff, because that's what sets us apart from everyone else in our area. It's just what it is. So, you know, we have to do those kind of things. So what are you going to do to make your year different than you did last year? And for me, again, it gets up same time every day, same routines, listening to motivation stuff that I listen to, you know, putting healthy stuff in my body right away. I've already had 1.5 liters of water. You know, I start my day off, it's 1.5 liters of water. I put this vitamin C pack in, it's got magnesium and vitamin D, and then I put some amino acids in there, and that's every day. Then I got the MCT powder, cinnamon and stuff like that in my coffee. And then I'm about to have a protein shake with coconut water and some greens and beet powder and all that good stuff. And then it's off to jiu-jitsu practice. So what are you going to do differently this year? What are you going to do to make sure that they're going in the right direction? All right. And you do that by work. We got to work. Embrace the work ethic. Embrace sweating. Embrace being tired, being exhausted. Embrace that. At least I do. That's what I want. I want that. In the beginning, it's hard. It's hard to just, you know, you're thinking about like going for a run. Like I know some, you know, the other day it was raining out and I'm like, man, you're looking outside and it's like, it's cold, it's dark, it's cloudy, it's drizzly out. And I'm like, I really don't want to go out there, you know, but then I got the David Goggins playing and he's talking all the stuff that he's talking. And I'm like, man, just lace the shoes up, you know, layer up and then just go get after it. And that's what I did. Got the 3 miles in, got it done. But too much thinking, too much thought process is going to slow you down, and eventually you just don't get anything done. You just got to get after it. All right, guys. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Casey Cornelius up in Michigan. Met him through our affiliate up there, Palm BJJ. Put a really nice post with my picture from the #1 ranking a few years ago, and had some very kind words to share about me. So I really appreciate that, Mr. Casey. I love that, man. It was good stuff. He said he's going to share something that he loves about a friend or a family member every day of 2021. So look forward to seeing those. And again, share positive vibes, guys. Put your workouts out there. Tell people to get up and move and be active and do better and just share good things, all right? The world has enough bad things out there. We need more people doing good things and better things and getting people to push in better directions. Again, I don't have to know you to want you to do better things, all right? That's why I'm doing these videos. These things just go wherever they go. Whoever catches them, catches them. I just want you to win, all right? So let's win the day. Let's win at life. Let's get after it. We'll see you on the next one.